Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, as always, welcome. Today I have another versus for you. This time we're jumping into the Battle Royale genre with Apex Legends versus Warzone 2. I know these Battle Royales contrast a bit, but maybe you're looking to jump ship and try something new. Now that's out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into it, starting with the maps. Apex has a total of 5 maps. Normally 2 to 3 maps rotate every 60 to 90 minutes. Something to note is that Apex Legends map size is notably smaller than Warzone 2's. And this in large is due to the player count for each match. See, Apex only has a player count of 60, whereas Warzone has to account for 152 players. That's more than double the size, and that's why you have the map size disparity. Getting back to the maps, each map in Apex normally offers something new or has a unique feature to take advantage of. An example of this is the World's Edge map having geysers players can jump into and glide across the map, while the latest map, Broken Moon, has zipline rails everywhere to quickly access different areas. Every map in Apex is important because so many fundamental things can change from one map to the next, such as the amount of high-level loot zones, or the overall structure of the map giving advantages to certain legends. The last thing I wanted to mention is the visual clarity that Apex offers in its maps, because you see everything. You can easily trace where shots are coming from, whether it be someone with a pistol or a sniper rifle. Legends stick out like a sore thumb. You can't really do things like hide in bushes or lay in the grass. That doesn't work here. Now you can hide in buildings, but we're really not going to get into camping. But other than that, that just about wraps it up for Apex. Let's go check out Warzone. Warzone 2's main mode offers one map. Now this map is ginormous and dwarfs any of the 5 Apex maps when comparing them side by side. Something cool about Warzone's maps is that a lot of it is comprised of remastered or updated version of Call of Duty maps from the past. Now this one map in Warzone houses everything you need. Unlike Apex, where certain maps have unique features that you can take advantage of, that's something you don't really have to worry about here. So due to the map being so big, there can be a bit of walking fatigue. However, Warzone does give you plenty of vehicle options to take advantage of. Some of these vehicles include trucks, ATVs, helicopters, boats, and a few more. Next, I wanted to focus on the map density of players. Because the map being this big, you may wonder if there's a lot of quiet time or not. And the answer is sometimes. And it's about the same for Apex Legends as well. I would argue a bit less in Apex though, but that's not to say I haven't won a match in Apex without seeing anybody into the end. In Warzone, you'll find your fair share of players running around constantly, and if not, just pack up and move to a more populated area. Overall, the map in Warzone is packed with all sorts of variety and geography to take advantage of. I would say there's less visual clarity here, as more parts of the map are more dense with natural environments and props like cars, trees, and buildings, things like that, versus what you would get in Apex. Not to mention, you can blend your character in very well within the environments, such as hiding in bushes and using other camping tactics. It can make it hard to actually pick up on another player sometimes. Now that we've looked at Warzone's map, let's jump into combat. Respawn Entertainment is known for making smooth combat, and it's no exception here. Apex feels smooth in the hands from the movements to the gunplay. Combat is squad-based, matches take place in teams of 2s or 3s, there are no solo queues. The first phase of combat is kicked off by selecting what legend you want to play as. As of now, there are a total of 23 legends that fall under one of 5 categories: Assault, Skirmisher, Recon, Controller, and Support. Each legend comes with 3 unique abilities: a tactical or active ability, a passive ability, and their ultimate ability. The legend you choose more or less determines your role. As an example, as a Recon, you want to be using your abilities to check for enemies and finding out where the next ring location will be. The second phase of combat is the meat and potatoes, and that's the gunplay. There are over 25 guns to choose from, with some on a rotating basis. These gun types have a wide variety, from bows to pistols, assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, LMGs, and more. Every gun feels distinctive from one another and have their own pattern of recoil, fire rate, ADS, and even mechanics. The last phase of combat is the loot. Loot is very important in a battle royale, and it's no different here. Generally, loot has 4 tiers for weapon attachments, and that's gray, blue, purple, and yellow, in that order. And you do have red, but those only come from supply drops when it's regarding a weapon. Now, typical items of loot for guns will range from magazines to scopes, as well as barrel stabilizers and more. So it goes without saying, the higher the tier attachments you have on your gun, the better it will be. Now, everything I mentioned in regard to loot tiers applies to your body armor as well. By default, when you start the game, you will have tier 1 armor, which you can upgrade by finding better armor via loot, or dealing damage to enemies to upgrade your armor. And for the last bit of loot, you'll find things that you can replenish your armor or health, different grenades, and things like that. Now, let's talk dying in Apex, because it will happen. If you die, you immediately go into a down state, where you can then be picked back up by a teammate to join the fight. Something to note is that when you are in a down state, you do have a revive timer, and if that timer runs out, or if an enemy finishes you off, you can't be picked back up, unless your ally grabs your banner off your corpse and takes it to a revive station. Now, revive stations do have a limited use, so once you use a revive station, that revive station can no longer be used and is technically removed from the map. I think that about sums up the basics of combat in Apex. Let's head over to Warzone and see how things work out there. If you're a fan of the gunplay and movement in most Call of Duty games, most will be pleased here for the most part. Combat is smooth and feels good in the hands. Combat is squad based, except this time you can run quads, trios, duos, or even solo. Unlike Apex, there is no class system here. You more so are defined by the loot you pick up or certain guns that you like, assuming you can get a loadout drop and use your personal loadout. Warzone has a multitude of guns to choose from, over 30 guns from all different categories that again rotate in and out. You'll have shotguns, assault rifles, rocket launchers, pistols, and many more to choose from. Of course, all the guns feel distinct with their own recoil patterns, ADS times, and many other things. Let's jump into the loot phase of things, because again, loot here is just as important. Just like Apex, Warzone does have a tiered loot system as well, which is common, rare, epic, and legendary. Picking up a legendary gun will have all the subsequent attachments at the same level of the gun as well. So if you pick up a legendary gun, all of the attachments should be legendary with it as well. Some other items you'll be looking for loot-wise will be armor plates, grenades, self-revives, and the very important cash. Cash is important because it will allow you to purchase things from buy stations, such as traditional Call of Duty kill streaks like precision airstrikes. Some other things include self-revives, gas masks, and others. Now, I didn't mention this, but Apex does have a similar cash system as well that will allow you to purchase some items. But back to Call of Duty. The next very important piece of the loot are the armor plates, which gives you a bit of extra survivability. This is similar to Apex's armor system, but in Warzone, this isn't something that's upgradable. You can re-equip new ones when the old ones have been used up. The last part of combat is dying, and Warzone offers more ways than one to come back. Like Apex, if you go down, you will be in a down state, but revivable. And if a teammate can get to you in time, before your timer runs out, you can resume the fight. Now, let's say you get finished by the enemy. Instead of it being game over, Warzone offers you a chance to go one-on-one with someone else who has died in the Gulag. The Gulag pits you against another player while equipping you both with the same random weapon, and it's simple. The winner gets to redeploy, but has to go find brand new loot. Now, if you're the loser of the Gulag, you're out, but you can still be brought back. If your teammates have enough cash, they can buy you back, and you can redeploy once again in hopes to win the match. Now, that's Warzone's combat in a nutshell. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. At the end of the day, you have two really competitive battle royales vying for your time. Each have their pros and cons, and as always, it comes down to personal preference. If you're more into the hero shooter aspect or love things like team compositions, Apex is for you. If you want the more realism aesthetic or you're just a Call of Duty fan, Warzone may be better suited for you. Now, I know I could have went a lot more in depth, but I really wanted to keep this surface level as I didn't want to be here all day. This video just serves as a basis if you're trying to decide between the two. As for me, my preference is with Apex. I just really enjoy the characters and their stories, and I like using abilities to see how they work out. Another thing is that for me, the matches are much shorter than Warzone. But enough of what I think. I'd love to know what y'all think in the comments below. What did you think about this versus video? Which game do y'all like better and why? Have you ever played these games? Let me know, but that's all I got for now. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and if y'all did, please drop a like and a sub. It goes a long way, and I got more coming. Catch y'all next time.